Hello my friends, and welcome back to another video. Yes, it is another review video. I know that there's a lot of review videos coming out on the channel. I'm a little bit worried that there's too many review videos coming out on the channel, but it is purely down to the fact that we are fastly approaching Christmas already, can you believe it? And everyone's bringing out poetry collections because obviously they want it to be Christmas presents. So I apologise for all of the review videos. I've got one more this month I want to do, and then I have one lined up for November. Hopefully between now and November there'll be a lot more how to write poetry videos, because I know that's why most of you are here. However, let's kick on with this video, which is going to be a review of, can you believe it? I can't believe I'm saying it, but Gabbie Hanna's new poetry collection, Dandelion. I know in my last Gabbie Hanna review I said I would never touch one of her books again. Unfortunately, yes, unfortunately, I was curious. Curiosity got the better of me. I had hoped that after the slating that Adultolesence had got, maybe, just maybe, Gabbie Hanna might have taken her time with this one. Let's get into the review. Okay, so starting with the boring bits, the cover and stuff. I like the cover, it's nice bright yellow, it's definitely eye-catching. It's a illustration of Gabbie Hanna, I assume, blowing a dandelion. Makes sense, right? On the back of this, let me just read the back of the book. In this visually thrilling installment of the inner workings of Gabbie Hanna's mind, we're taken on a journey of self-loathing, self-reflection, and ultimately self-acceptance through deeply metaphorical imagery, chilling twists on childlike rhymes, fair, and popular turns of phrase turned on their heads. Dandelion explores what it means to struggle with mental health in a world where psychological issues are both stigmatized and trivialized. Yes, although I think the world is very rapidly changing, thank goodness. But yes, I guess. The poems in these pages range from topics of rage and despair to downright silliness, and are paired with uncomfortably honest essays about Gabbie's childhood and relationships. So if you don't know whether to laugh or cry, just laugh until you cry. That last bit is very true, though not in the way I think they want. Gabbie Hanna is the New York Times best-selling author of Adultolesence and a Billboard charting musical artist. Well, if that doesn't sum up 2020, I don't know what does. Adultolesence is a bestseller, a New York Times bestseller, and she's a Billboard charting musical artist. I haven't listened to her music, to be fair, but New York Times bestseller. That hurts. Now, onto publishing, I was very shocked and disappointed that this is a Simon & Schuster book. They're one of my favourite publishers, what the hell? I can't believe that within 2 weeks I've read one of the best collections I've read in a long time, which is Violet Bent Backwards Over the Grass, which is also Simon & Schuster. And then they released this. I don't know how I feel about that. So that's the cover. I like the colour on the cover. I think I said this about Adultolesence. Whoever is writing the whoever writes the back of these books should be paid thousands, I hope, because they are very good at selling this book and what's inside. Yeah, so let's get to the inside of the book. Again, with Adultolescence, I didn't bother reading the whole thing. After a few pages, I soon realised that it's the same story as Adultolescence, which I'm genuinely gutted. I don't like sitting here and giving bad reviews. I don't like slagging people off. If you've been following my Instagram and my YouTube, you'll know that I'm a huge advocate of poetry. I'm a huge advocate. Yeah, I think I got it right the first time. Of people writing poetry and sharing poetry. But these two books really have, as a poet, genuinely offended me. Like, I'm genuinely offended. The thing about the poetry world is they were one of the last remaining businesses that hadn't become commercialized. And I'm really scared that that's going to be a thing of the past. This was a New York Best Times best-selling author, whatever, you know what I'm trying to say. And I really think it's purely down to the fact of her following. I feel like there's, like, what happened to publishing and artistic integrity? I want to give a different review video than I did for Adultolescence, but you can tell they're written in the same vein by the same person. I'd really hoped, when I found out by someone commenting on my last review, Adultolescence review, that this was coming out. And when I found out, I had really hoped that with all the slating that Adultolescence got from the poetry world, everyone loves an underdog story, everyone loves a redemption story. I'd really hoped that this had been that, but it's really just a collection of the same rushed, not well thought out poetry. So let's dive into the formatting, I guess. You can see that it's pretty much the same as Adultolescence. It's a lot of illustrations, a lot of pages. I didn't fold down that one, but I will now. A lot of pages of just like why. I haven't even read that one. Confidence. I miss when you were humble. I wasn't humble. I just hated myself. And I get the illustration here. The illustration is a lot smarter than the actual poem itself. Obviously a caterpillar is saying, I miss when you were humble, and the butterfly that has, cocooned itself and blossomed, bloomed. What is the process of that? So I can't think of it, but you know what I'm saying. I wasn't humble, I just hated myself, so they changed, they bloomed, sort of thing. So I think the illustration does a lot for that text. There are pages on here that I didn't pick up on in Adultolescence, again, because I didn't read. It does seem like there are more longer poems in this, as you can see here. Here is 2 whole pages. So, and another one, 2 whole pages, which I didn't fold down. So, quarantine. So, fair enough. Credit where credit's due. There are a lot more longer pieces. Okay, there seems to be a lot more. See, I didn't really give it my time very much. So, fair enough. Credit where credit's due. With that being said, though, the majority of the book is still stuff like this. Now, I don't know if you remember a poem called Like in Adultolescence. It was something like, I'm not even going to repeat it. But this is very similar. This one over here, you can see I folded it. It's called Jealousy. I wonder if you wonder who doesn't have to wonder what it's like to be with me. I don't even know how that's supposed to be read. I wonder if you wonder who doesn't have to wonder what it's like to be with me. Gossip. I don't kiss and tell, because even if I had someone to kiss, I'd have no one to tell. It's got a bit of emotion behind it, fair. That's one I wanted to read because I actually liked it. I want to, I do, as I said, I don't enjoy doing these sorts of reviews, but as someone who sort of represents the poetry world, I don't know if I do a good job of it, but as someone who takes poetry quite seriously, well, very seriously, as you know, it offends me, so I have to speak up. And I'm just so shocked that Simon and Schuster picked this up after Violet bent backwards over the grass. Another one, I got them both folded down here. This one's called Mute, with an image of a telephone. The last thing you ever said to me was, I promise this isn't goodbye, and I never heard your voice again. Again, I get it, I understand, but see, that should be the opening of a poem, and then I feel like so many of these poems in this book are like the opening of something, and I would have loved if she had elaborated on it more or gone further. The last thing you ever said to me was, I promise this isn't goodbye, and I never heard your voice again. We all relate to that, right? Who hasn't been there before? The one on the other page is called Gross. Tear-stained cheeks, and drear-stained peaks, and fear-stained weeks, and weir-stained freaks. I mean, there's some Sejoura in here, which I haven't done a video on, which surprises me, to be honest, that she knows about I can't even talk, it's been a long day, about poetic techniques, Sejoura, and it says tear-stained cheeks, and dear, I don't even know how to read her poetry, that is the worst thing. Tear-stained cheeks, and drear-stained peaks, and fear-stained weeks, and weir-stained freaks. Okay. Here's a page, it's a whole thing, a Harley's riding past, that's cool. Here's a page full of illustration, and the only text on it says, life is full of ups and downs. Oh cool, when's the up part? It just feels so lazy. It's just laziness is painted all over this book, and it hurts me. It hurts me. That's another poem I liked. Okay, so the opening poem is called Bloom. I was 26 years old when I saw my first flower, and instead of rejoicing in its beauty, I mourned for all the years I was blind. I like this one. I was 26 years old when I saw my first flower, and instead of rejoicing in its beauty, I mourned for all the years I was blind. I like that. I like what it's saying. I don't like the fact that it takes up a whole page, as with the Dandelion. To be honest with you, I'm fed up of saying that in almost every single review video. As I said, she has gotten better. There are more pages with more text in it. But it's just like, come on man, whatever. I feel like I'm fighting a losing battle here. But I do like the poem. I do like the sentiment. I do like what she's done here, so fair play. It's a nice opening poem. Then the third page, I say that. I didn't fold this off because I think I just flicked through and stopped whenever, because whatever. I say that, and then on the third page it's called Cordial, and it goes, I broke up with my demons, we're much better off as friends. It's like... I don't know who's racing around. I don't know if the mic's picking that bike up, but there's a bike going around. So I'm going to read two of the bigger poems that I liked, and then I'll probably just finish up because what are we on, 13 minutes. Nightlight, and I like this one. Daddy, daddy, help me, I'm scared. Darling, darling, what's wrong, little girl? I'm frightened, I don't like the monster in here. Would you like me to check in the closet, my dear? To make sure it's empty and you're in the clear? No, Daddy, it's not the closet I fear. I know there's no monster hiding in there. Would you like me to check, then, behind the silk curtain, just so you know you're alone for certain? Daddy, my monster is bigger and worse than anything hiding behind a silk curtain. Daughter, I'll slay this beast that you dread. I'll banish the monster from under your bed. No, Daddy, the monster's not under the bed. I'm scared of the monster that lives in my head. Very Dr. Sayers, Seuss, however you want to say his name. I like that. I like the message behind it. I like the sentiment behind it. And I like the flow and meter of it. This is what I don't understand, and this is exactly what I said about Adultolescence. She clearly can pen a poem, right? Spend a year putting a collection of good poetry together instead of throwing out any random... nearly swore there. Instead of throwing out any random thing that comes to mind and use it as a page filler. Wouldn't you rather take the time, like you clearly did with Nightlight, and build up a reputation of being a good poet, even if you just write children's poems? You've clearly got a knack for writing children's poems. Spend a year, work on your craft, work on your poems, every single one, and then release a book of children's poems. Anyway, let me find the last poem that I liked. So this is nice. You've got an illustration with almost every poem. You have an illustration, and it's called Distance. Little by little, pebble by pebble, speck by speck of dust, the mountains eroded, leaving a canyon between the two of us. The whispers were bellowed, resentments were echoed, across a cleft so grand. All you needed to close the gap was to reach out for my hand. She can do it, folks. Believe it or not, she can do it. Whether that's the most profound poem you'll ever read, but that just goes to show that she can write poems. I don't know. Oh, I've just found another one. Dogs running in circles. Who's chasing who? Oh, it's so frustrating, guys. It's so frustrating. Dandelion. Adultolescence version 2, a slight upgrade perhaps. My advice to readers is don't buy it. My advice to Gabbie Hanna is please just spend some time, man. I know you've got a busy life. You're a Billboard charting singer, musical artist, and a New York Times bestseller. My life. You're probably living a busy life. If you're living a life that's too busy to spend time on poetry, don't release a book of poetry. Simon and Schuster, I don't know what to say. There you go. Not worth the £10 that I spent on that. I can't believe that I was gullible enough to think actually maybe, just maybe, after everything Adultolescence went through, this would be different. It's not. I feel bad for having to do this sort of review. I hope that the next review will be better. I'm not going to spend too much. What are we on now? 17 minutes. That's without editing. Not going to spend any more time on this. It is what it is. Now I am doing a little project with these two books. I got the idea from a comment in my Adultolescence video. I'm not writing over her poems, but I am adding to them. I am adding to them and doing some little things to try and elaborate, choosing my words carefully, to try and elaborate what's already there. I am going to be eventually at some point, hopefully soon, going to be auctioning them off separately, not together. And any money I make, because I do not want to keep these on my collections, any money made through the auction of my elaboration on adultolescence will be going to charities for mental health. I'll probably just pick one charity, to be honest, probably Mind. And any money that is raised through my elaboration on Dandelion will go to charities that are working against deforestation, because that's how strongly I feel about stuff like this. It's just my small way of counteracting the waste of paper that goes into publishing two-line poetry. My name's Adam Gary. If you like this video, please like the video by hitting the thumbs up down below. Leave me a comment on your thoughts if you've read Dandelion. Maybe you found something in the pages that I didn't. I'm also trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We are on 905 at the time of recording, so if you like my videos, please do subscribe. A massive 80% of people that watch my videos aren't subscribed, so if you can do that for me, I'll be very grateful. Again, sorry about all the review videos coming out. It's purely down to all the books that I want to review. So back to regular scheduling. I always stumble over that word. Back to regular scheduling soon. See you next week.